Hey everyone, so in today's video, we are going to be talking about some time-sensitive sales that are happening. A lot of brands have already started their Black Friday and Cyber Monday week sales. So I wanted to touch on those in today's video. And just to let you guys know, this week I'm going to be doing a lot of different videos covering sales as they happen to keep you guys informed. Essentially, this is a developing story, so if you guys want to be updated, you can definitely turn on your notifications. These new sales are kind of coming out every day, and I'm kind of even in like a mad dash just to get this video out. So let's just start right now. I've got my laptop in front of me. So the first sale that I wanted to touch on is from Merit. So everything at Merit is 20% off through their website. So let me quickly share with you guys my absolute favorites from the brand. First of all, let's talk about what's on my lips. It is Tiger, and it's one of their signature lips. I'm not going to stay here for too long just because I feel like you guys have already heard the spiel, but I would say that this is definitely top first or second out of my lip product finds of the year. If you love a sheer satin lipstick, it's buildable but not uber pigmented and just kind of gives you this really chic, you're not really trying kind of lip look with pretty incredible unique shades. I really highly suggest checking these out. As someone that really loves an easy lip product, these are my go-to lipstick. As far as more traditional lipsticks go, I really feel like you can't beat these, and there's a reason why everyone talks about them. Tiger has quickly become like my staple for this season. Le Avenue is another favorite. I love 1990. Literally every shade that I have, I love. If you haven't tried them, just wanted to throw it out there that they are 20% off. Just as a forewarning, once you have one shade, you become very curious about the other shades because they're all really good. Next product is a newer product to me from Merit, and it is the Great Skin Instant Glow Serum. I've been using this as a primer before my makeup. I did that again today. If you have very dry, chapped skin in general, which for me right now, I certainly do. My skin's kind of going through it. I really highly recommend incorporating this into your routine. I also have used this to mix into foundation, and for me, it's almost like the Glossier Future Dew, just taken down a notch. It's definitely not as thick. I mean, you can see that it's kind of a biphase serum texture. I mean, I feel like we can't stress enough how important prep is for the rest of your makeup, how it's really going to impact every single step after. And when I know my skin is going through it and I need like that makeup saving product, this has become that for me this season. I really love it. And I love that it's also, there are skincare benefits to this. Technically, it is a skincare item. Luxurious packaging as well. I mean, it is frosted, beautiful glass. It's just a very good product. Another product that I have loved is the Perfecting Complexion Stick from Merit. As far as stick foundations go, this is one of the best because it's super creamy, very blendable, but it's not really heavy on the skin, and I feel as though I've tried so many stick foundations. A lot of them just have not worked for me because I can just kind of feel them. They just look a little bit heavy on the skin, and this one, you guys, is not like that at all. It is such an easy throw it in your purse product, and they actually listened to feedback and gave you more product now. So I used to, my main hang up with this, recommending it to you guys in the past was, well, you only get so little product, so it makes it a little bit more expensive, though I really like the formula. Well, they've taken that out of the equation. So now it's like an overwhelming, yes, I really, really like this foundation. And I'm actually kind of curious in picking up another shade to use as like a contour, just because the formula itself is so blendable and easy. And now I'm wondering, I don't think I've combined these two yet. The holidays get really crazy and you just want to get makeup on the face and get out the door. This is a really good product for that. I also am a big fan of the Day Glow Highlighting Balm. The shade Citrine is really pretty if you want that more glossy highlight. I talked about that product before. There are a lot of balm highlights out there, and I think that that one is a really good balance between you know, giving you a little bit more than like that Vaseline kind of look. Because I feel like some brands aren't giving enough. That highlight's really nice. Though I am wearing another highlight on my skin. I'll talk about this one in a second. I really love it. Next sale is from Saie Beauty. So everything at Saie is 25% off. Number one recommendation is the Hydro Beam Concealer. You guys know how picky I am with concealers, and this is one that I am wearing today. I go back to it. It's just a really lovely hydrating concealer. If you deal with hollows under your eyes, this is a beautiful concealer because it does not exaggerate them. This is the shade 2. The shade 2 is a really good corrector for me, but the shade 1 is closer to my skin tone. I do hope that they expand the shade ranges because I feel like there are some missing little bits, you know, missing shades in between shades. But the formula is very, very good. I had high expectations for it, and I'm like, I mean, they really delivered on this concealer. Beautiful one, especially for every day. You know how sometimes you put a concealer under the eyes and it's like, whoa, that is way too much coverage, and then the rest of your face, you know, doesn't have as much coverage. This kind of takes that out of the equation. It looks very, very natural. Next, the bronzer that I have on my skin is the Saie Sun Melt Bronzer. And this is my top recommendation for those of you that have been a fan of the Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel, you know, the Chanel Cream Bronzer. If you haven't tried this, I really highly recommend it because I would say that it's a dupe, but honestly, this is a much better formula than the Chanel one in my opinion. In my opinion, I feel like every time I say that, you know, there's someone that's very angry at me. Just because, you know, that's a cult favorite product. But this has that beautiful souffle texture that goes onto the skin almost in a cream to powder way. It's very blurring and pretty. Great shade range. I just think that it's a really, really good one. And I always go back to recommend it, especially to those of you that are a fan of the Chanel one. And lastly, for blush, I actually mixed 2 of my Dew blushes from Saie and put them on my cheeks today. So I have the shade Poppy and Spicy. I actually did a YouTube short recently demoing Spicy all over as kind of like a bronzer blush moment. So if you're interested in that, you can check it out. This is my favorite of the 2 shades. This color is absolutely beautiful. If you love that brown, red, sunburnt kind of color, this shade is pretty perfect. And I think that this blush is really beautiful if you have just found that the Rare Beauty blushes are too pigmented for you. These are very similar to that formula, except a little bit more dewy and a little bit more sheer, but they still have beautiful pigment. They blend super easy, great packaging. I mean, very compact, big doe foot applicator, just a really good staple kind of blush. But personally, you know, if I was gonna, you know, recommend a shade, I think Spicy is like the way to go. Okay, next, this is a sale that I have to call out because specifically I'm going to be purchasing many of these while they're 30% off. So Peace Out is doing a site-wide sale. And if you aren't familiar with Peace Out, they do the best acne patches that I've ever used. I have used these for literally years. Quick story time, I had a pimple over here that the pore was so deep. I get cystic breakouts, guys. When I break out, they're deep. I wore one on the pimple for a week and it got it out when nothing else could. It's really the closest thing I have found to going to a dermatologist or an esthetician and doing extractions. The difference between these is, one, they have vitamin A and salicylic acid, but they also have aloe vera. These stick where you put them and they're intense. They get the job done. They're really good for those pimples that are very deep. If I had my choice of pimple patches, I would get these, but you know, it sucks because they're a little bit more up there in price. So what I do is I get them when they're on sale and stock up. So at 30% off, it's like a no-brainer. They are super, super good, you guys. So if you struggle with those more cystic breakouts, or you just have breakouts with like a lot of gunk in them, those are highly, highly recommend those ones. And Peace Out also does like the micro dart patches as well. Okay, I feel like I should just get into what is on my eyes today because I still get questions about this palette. This is the New Look palette from Dior, and yes, it is on sale over at Saks. And not only is this on sale at Saks, but our beloved Beige Mitza that I've not been able to shut up about on my channel this year. So two of my favorite Dior products are both on sale at Saks right now. Again, I'm not really sure how long they're running that sale. And usually when they run a sale on Dior single shadows, they don't include beige mitzvah. So if you have been wondering about this one, and you guys ask me all the time, is there a dupe? I have not found a dupe. So I'm just like giving you guys the warning now that it is on sale in case you want to pick it up. But I wanted to use the New Look palette today to give you guys another idea of what this palette can do. It looks so smoky and intimidating in the pans, but this kind of pewtery brown shade all over the lid is a perfect one and done. Then this shade down here, it's a little bit more metallic. It has just that beautiful undone glossy kind of effect to it. And then this topper, of course, just adds that more wet shimmer. But they're elegant, they are beautiful. I love the blend of these. They're just beautiful. And as far as, you know, one and done, I mean, this is one of my favorite ever of all time. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on these two. They are on sale specifically at Saks. But I do have a couple more recommendations from Saks. In the vein of Dior, if you were wondering about the Dior Rosy Glow blush that everyone is obsessed with, it is on sale over there. Again, I don't know how long that's going to be in stock, so, you know, don't be mad at me if it's not. And then the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation, which is what I have on my skin today, is absolutely a favorite. If you want that perfected look with a very thin skin-like finish, but it's got coverage, I mean, I don't know, guys, it's just really freaking good. You know you're going to get the coverage that you need where you need it, but it's not going to look heavy, cakey, drying. It's just a good one. Highly, highly recommend. Highlight that I'm wearing today is from Charlotte Tilbury, of course, my favorite liquid highlight formula, but this is the shade Pillow Talk, and this is on sale. I mean, I feel like it speaks for itself. It's one of the only liquid highlights that gives you that glossy effect, but it sets down and it also kind of smooths the skin a bit. I mean, you can't go wrong. It literally is a perfect formula in my opinion. And lastly, of course, Armani Luminous Silk is on sale. It's a cult favorite. I always go back to it when I just want that more light coverage but still a refined kind of skin look. I mean, it's beautiful. When you photograph with this, I mean, it looks like there's barely anything on your skin, and yet you look very perfected. I would say if you want more coverage, the NARS is the way to go, and then if you want something with just a little bit less coverage, you're more of a less coverage person, I would go with Luminous Silk. Random one that I wanted to recommend, somehow you can get By the Fireplace from Maison Margiela at Nordstrom on sale right now. I don't know how long it's going to be on sale, but this fragrance like never goes on sale, and it's a favorite. I mean, my sister absolutely loves it now. I mean, everyone loves it, you know what I mean? It's just that roasty, toasty, slightly sweet, slightly fiery kind of smell. It is the holiday smell, you know what I mean? And there are a lot of candles, a lot of brands that like try to get you somewhere close to this, but this has that level of spiciness and sexiness. They just really were able to cut through that sweetness with the spice and the smoke in a way that makes this, in my opinion, perfect for this season. A really, really good gift too. And that's at Nordstrom, not Saks. And then all the other makeup stuff I talked about was from Saks. Okay, just a couple more sales that I wanted to touch on. Pat McGrath, everything at Pat McGrath right now is at least 30% off. But as you spend more money, you can get up to 45% off, which is, you know, kind of insane to me. You know, now's the time, I think, if you have been looking at one, if you want to get a gift. I actually got my friend one of her quads as a gift because she wouldn't buy it for herself, and I wanted her to be able to play with the formula. So, you know, if you have that friend in your life, if you yourself, you've just been waiting because it's just so expensive, this is like the best sale of the year for Pat McGrath products. And especially if you want a palette, I feel like it's a good chance to get the palette. My number one fave is the Divine Rose palette. I think it always will be. I love Utopian Dream though. I think the best matte formula I've ever tried in my life, and the special shades in the Utopian Dream palette, as well as the Divine Rose palette are, we're talking innovation here as far as formulas go. There's a reason they're expensive, is that they're some of the best. But, you know, I know a lot of you guys already know that. But, okay, last sale is Kiehl's. So I actually went to New York with my sister and went into the Kiehl's, picked up a few items, and then it had me thinking, I'm like, I wonder if they're doing an online sale that I could tell you guys about. And it turns out that they are. So it's 25% off everything, and then they're doing some of their best sellers for 50% off. The Ultra Facial Cream is always a favorite. It is lightweight but super hydrating. For example, now their Creme de Corpse body lotion, the big one, it's typically $54 and right now it's $27. So they're doing like half off of a bunch of stuff. But I specifically picked up, where is that toner I picked up? And I also picked up a hair item that I've just heard insanely good things about. Yes, so I picked up the Ultra Facial Toner. Listen to these ingredients. I can't believe I haven't tried this. So it's glycerin, squalane, apricot kernel oil, avocado oil, sweet almond oil. I want it on my face right now, especially for the winter. I mean, that is a great ingredient list. I am pumped about it. And then I did get a hair oil that everyone talks about, and it's the Magic Elixir Scalp and Hair Oil Treatment. Right now, it's $16.50, which is freaking crazy to me. And it's essentially a rosemary leaf oil mixed with avocado, safflower oil, and everyone says it's a beautiful scalp treatment. I mean, this is definitely one of those cult favorite secret products that people that have been into rosemary oil for like hair growth, they've known about it for a while. I'm just starting to try it out. So it's a pre-shampoo scalp treatment as well as just like a hair treatment oil that you can apply, you know, like before bed. I am so pumped about that one. This is a developing story. I know that there are more sales going on, so I'm going to keep updating you as they come out. So be on the lookout for more recommendations. And if you have specific recommendations or videos that you want me to do this week, please let me know. I'm happy to help. And thank you guys as always for being here, and I'll see you in my next one.